been a while, but welcome back to Project 380. The car's all loaded up and I'm on my way to Car Spa, Valet and Vinyl. So welcome back to Car Spa, Valet and Vinyl. As you can see, I've borrowed an MX5 and the aim of today is to fit the double crash and jack and bar from FPM Garage. This is going to help you when you're out drifting to protect you from rogue BMWs and wall taps. So this is going to give you a bit of protection from whatever you're going to hit or whatever's going to hit you, as it's a lot stronger than the original crash bar. And with the added benefit of being able to jack the car up a lot quicker and a lot safer. So in order to fit this, we first need to take the bumper off. So the first step to removing the bumper is to gain access into the boot. So on the Mark IIs, as you can see, the rear lights have to come out first before the bumper comes off. So we need to go inside the boot and remove this panel. This is just held on with a few plastic panel clips. Behind that panel, you can unplug the lights. The light is just held in with two 10mm and a Phillips screw in the boot shut. Then you should be able to pull the light out. Now with the rear lights out of the way, it's on to removing the rear bumper. To do that, you first want to jack the car up, safely place it on an axle stand and remove the rear wheels. As you can see, I've already done that, so now it's onto the rear arch. In the rear arch, connecting the bumper to the inner arch is a plastic arch liner, and that's held on with 3 plastic clips and 2 8mm bolts. Then that gives you access to this Phillips screw which attaches the bumper to the rear arch. Then underneath the bumper, attaching the bumper to the original bash bar, are 2 plastic clips, usually with a Phillips insert in the middle, but these have previously been butchered. The last 2 bolts are behind the license plate and they are a torque drive. Now the bumper is ready to come off. To release it from the car, you simply go in the rear arch and pull off the plastic mount. With the rear bumper off, we can see the old original bash bar, and that's going to be replaced with the FPM Garage double crash and jack bar. As you can see, it's going to be a direct replacement, but with the added benefits of it wrapping around the side of the chassis a little bit more to give you a bit more protection. So now we need to remove the old original bash bar, and to do that there's 2 nuts in here and 1 nut down there, and to get access to that nut there is an access hole in the original bash bar to do so. With everything out of the way, now is as good a time as any to give this all a really good clean and treat any rust that you may have found. With the rear end all cleaned up, we're almost ready to install the crash bar, and there's two ways you could go around this. The first, but not necessarily the best, would be to use the studs that are in the chassis already, and this hole down here to drill that out slightly and use a bigger bolt. Or the other option that is advised by FPM Garage is to use the bolts that are provided with the crash bar. These are a lot thicker than the standard studs that are in the chassis, and is going to reinforce the crash bar a lot more. I personally would feel better using these thicker bolts that are provided, as I know they're going to be a lot more structurally sound. But as this isn't my car, I am just going to use these studs for now. That's not going anywhere. As you can see, FPM Garage have taken great care into making sure this is a direct bolt-on part. And an added bonus, this can be used with the standard bumper, but with a little bit of modification. And for the purpose of this video, I've bought my own bumper here, as I'm happy to cut that up a little. On the standard Mark II bumper, all you need to do is remove these four bits here, up to this shoulder here. Fitting the bumper back on is almost identical to the way it came off. The only difference being is the plastic clips that held the bumper on to the original bash bar are now going to be replaced with a couple of tie wraps. So with the bumper back on, you can see the crash bar fits really well underneath it with very little modification, and all you can see is the little jacking point right at the bottom. Now, as this crash bar is meant for my car and this is my bumper, I'm obviously not going to fully install the bumper now. But before I take everything back off and turn this car back to standard, we need to see how well this jacking pad works. Well, I'm sure you can agree that is a quicker and a lot more convenient way to jack up your MX5. And especially if you're at the track, that is going to save you some valuable time when you need to change tyres. And with the added benefit, you won't need to jack up the MX5 by the notorious rusty sills and damage them. You've now got a nice strong point to jack up from. So that's this car turned back to standard. It's now time to go back home and put this on my car. So on my car, I'm going to be removing these studs and drilling out this hole. And to remove the top two, you could go inside the boot and you can see where they're welded in from the back there. So I'm just going to take a grinder and cut those off. And underneath, that one is just there. that's the bar fully installed on my car with the correct hardware, and now I know it's pretty secure. But I have found a little rust that I'm going to have to address later on. If you're interested in the FPM Garage crash and jack bar, go visit the FPM Garage website, where not only will you find the double crash and jack bar for the Mark II, which I've fitted today, you will also find the models for the Mark I and the Mark III. And go ahead and use my code at the checkout, Project380, for a discount off of your bar. This is going to help protect you from any accidents, and it's going to make jacking the rear end up a hell of a lot quicker. If this video helped you fit your FPM Garage crash and jack bar, leave it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you for watching. This could really do with a good paint correction.